What are some of the mindset mishaps that result when people misunderstand a scarcity mindset? Well, in this mini tutorial, we are going to look at that. Again, I'm your coaching instructor, Louise and Maurice. Now, if you're not familiar with my 5-part evidence finding framework, we'll just quickly review it so that you have that understanding before we go in to listen to the client case study. You are a coach, consultant, or team lead, and you are excited about starting this new session because the last session, the success mindset session, was a huge success. You start by framing this session with positivity by saying, you had a successful session last week. Before we get started today, what was a highlight moment for you after implementing the success mindset technique? The client responds, I had inadequate time for this task. You should have told me more so I could better prepare. I didn't know what to expect, and I felt like a fool. Wow, you are completely caught off guard because you did not see this client reaction. You did not see this coming. All right, you just listened to that case study. What evidence were you able to find? And this becomes important because that evidence, these are clues. Anytime you are listening to people, they are always sharing clues, especially background information. What attitude did you find? Point of view or perspective. What was evident to you? And then the language. What does their language tell you about their mindset? Specifically that scarcity mindset. And then who is the person that you found? All right, if you haven't done that already, I want you to write down your responses because as we continue on, I'm going to be sharing with you some insight on all of these key points. And I want you to be able to see, all right, were we on the same page or were there any differences and why am I seeing things differently? Because if you are, that is okay. And we'll talk more about that. All right, let's continue on. What was their attitude like? It was reactive. That reactive attitude of blame, you should have, not taking responsibility. What was their point of view or perspective? Lack, inadequate time. People who struggle with time management tend to have that scarcity mindset because they see everything with a lens of lack. What language did they use? I felt like a fool, not knowing what to expect. I want better, I want more because what I have is scarce. Always focused on what is missing, what they are lacking, as opposed to what went well. Now, did you recognize that person? Well, you might coach or consult or lead someone like this. And as I'd mentioned, they're always the ones that never have enough time, running out of time. Time is scarce and they will come from that place of lack. They're always focused on what is missing with you as the leader or the coach or their colleagues, what they are lacking as opposed to what is successful. Where does the misunderstanding start? We have to go right back to the foundation piece, and the foundation piece is the definition. The definition of scarcity, but yes, the dictionary definition is important, but it's the attachment people have to that definition and the meaning that they give it in their life, and that meaning comes from their own experiences. because scarcity, deficiency. Well, deficiency for one person is very different than deficiency for another person. Same goes for scarcity. And this is where, when you understand the meaning that people give words and experiences, that truly helps you. But sometimes it's just about getting back down to, yes, the basics of the definition, but also simple psychology that it's going to help you to understand. I'm going to teach you how to use organizational psychology to develop mindset coaching questions. So step number one is, I want you to think about the people you coach, consult, or lead. What goals do they want to achieve? Everyone has very, very specific goals, and you want to think about those goals. In particular, when we were listening to the case study, what goal do you think that person wants to achieve? Now, with this insight, let's review the wiki site. And in reviewing the Wikipedia site for organizational psychology, we're going to look at an approach that's going to provide you with a starting place so that you have that deeper awareness about time management blocks. Because this is where, when people want to achieve goals, regardless if they're health goals or career goals, financial goals, and they might always be making that excuse, well, I don't have enough time. And when they are placing that reactive blame on other people, they're blaming other people. Well, you didn't give me enough time, or you didn't make it easy enough for me so that I would have the time to do it. Time always is a factor. And with a scarcity mindset, time management issues are definitely an indicator of that mindset being present. So you always want to be aware of that. But we're going to look at an approach. I want you to unravel this and then focus on one aspect that could be the next step to deeper awareness. And then you're going to develop two questions. The first to start the second session, and the second to move into using the technique. All right, let's refer to the industrial and organizational psychology, the wiki site. Now, I've got this link for you. However, I have scrolled down to make this video as short and succinct as possible. I've scrolled down to the theory that we want to focus on. And even though your clients might not be a workplace client, it's amazing how with your clients, even if it's a health client or a financial client, how they do one thing is how they do everything and how they show up and work. So ignore that workplace if it doesn't apply to you. It's the motivation aspect that we want to focus on. Because motivation involves three psychological processes: arousal, direction, and intensity. Arousal is what initiates action. It's often fueled by a person's need or desire for something that is missing from his or her life, either totally or partially. And this is where, with scarcity mindset, people, you have to just ask them that question right out and get them to connect with it. Oh, I never thought about that. Because when you can help them to be aware that that is their focus, and because it is their focus, that becomes their perspective and how they see every other situation in their world, sometimes that's the awareness that they need to, and then you can dive deeper. Direction refers to the path that people take in accomplishing the goals that they set for themselves. Intensity is the amount of energy people put into goal-directed performance. All right, so anywhere where you see work, just replace it. Employees, replace it just with people, because this is applicable. As I said, how people do one thing is how they do everything. And the workplace really is just a mirror of family relationships, spousal relationships. It's amazing how many of that mirror, as well as people and their ability to complete goals or not complete goals. And with that scarcity mindset, it's moving them away from what they want. So this is where the level of intensity often reflects the importance and difficulty of the goal. These psychological processes processes involve 4 factors. First, motivation serves to direct attention, focusing on particular issues, people, tasks. Second, it serves to stimulate effort. Third, motivation influences persistence. And finally, motivation influences the choice and application of task-related strategies. So this is where, when you are then developing, so you've moved on from developing your coaching questions, and then you've moved into the steps for developing your technique, you really want to go through these steps and think about specifically the people that you coach, consult, or lead. But when they don't have a scarcity mindset, what time management benefits do they experience? And when they do have a scarcity mindset, what time management challenges will they experience? And then take one of the theories and adapt to develop your unique technique to address the challenge or support the benefit. And when it comes to techniques, I want you to infuse your niche area of coaching and develop something based on that. So for my holistic health and wellness coaching program, when I talk a lot about those holistic approaches and really using every part of a person and every part bringing in all of the natural techniques, you can infuse some of that motivation into that and develop just a very simple technique just by changing the wording and talking about energy in a different way. So that's one way that the health and wellness coaches can use that. If you're in my business coaching course, then you can use this in a way that focuses people's attention on the business goals that they want to achieve and have them focusing on the people that they provide business services to. So get them stimulated and aroused in that way and bringing them to a place of, yes, I can do this and I have more than enough time and I'm going to organize it in a way that will serve me. Career, same thing. They can use this as a tool, but they can also develop their own organization structure so that they can look at, okay, well, if I am looking at my life as customer service and I am providing customer service to my life, then how would I show up? If I were my best customer, how would I want to be treated? So these are just some ideas of techniques that you can use, but remember this PDF document will be available on my website, and as we continue on, I will share with you exactly where to find that. You have learned so much. It is time for recognition because with your understanding, by continuing with this Empowered Mindset series, you truly are making a difference. And this understanding helps you to help others. But in this mini tutorial, we have learned about that real world case study with regards to scarcity mindset and looking at that evidence finding framework of how it shows up. Then being able to apply organizational psychology to develop the changes in mindset techniques as well as the client-specific coaching questions. This becomes important for you to understand this process so that you can continually create, continually go out there and make things very specific for people, because when you make it specific for them, they know that you get them, you understand them, and that changes the relationship always for the better. You are better able to support them. Now, remember, I've got this mapped out for you. You just want to head on over to my website, louiseandmaurice.com. You want to click on free, then empowered mindset, then locate the Scarcity Mindset PDF document. It's free to download, and there's no email address that is required. Now, if you are not a subscriber, just hang on because I'm going to go through how you can subscribe so you don't miss any videos that I provide for you.